It's Wednesday at 4 o'clock, which means you're in for a special treat.
Yeah.
Last night, the committee did not meet. Actually had their end-of-the-year bowling party. So instead of tiers, we've got a new segment, the illustrious list of most to gain and most to lose, which we are calling most to gain and most to lose.
Thank you so much.
I still think we need a little
maybe,
pizzazz.
but also, listen, as we do always at our end-of-year party, the committee, we hold ourselves accountable.
Oh.
And we like to see how the tiers stacked up, too. So, Robert collects all USA Today's from every Monday throughout the year. We look at herd hierarchy and everything and say, hey, how did those ranking systems rank the Chiefs and the Niners? And how did the tiers? So, tail of the tiers, let's see how we did. Oh, so the Chiefs, the Super Bowl AFC representatives, their average rank 1.5. The Niners, average rank just better than third. Highest, of course, both of them atop the tiers at one point. Neither went with, the Niners fell to 6th, the Chiefs fell to 3rd tier. They both shared time atop the tiers, and the Chiefs were consistently above the Niners. But I would challenge anyone out there, Jared Bell from USA Today, Colin Cowherd from The Herd, anyone else that does ranking systems, see how your guys' power rankings did compared to the committees. Now, to most to gain, most to lose. Number 8, most to gain, Christian McCaffrey. He's amazing, but has never won anything other than Gatorade High School Player of the Year 2 times. He didn't win any state titles in football or track, even though he's playing in Colorado. Learned that on the Ringer, thanks to them. He got snubbed in the Heisman, in my opinion, for Derrick Henry. They never made the college football playoff, national championship, won a Rose Bowl. This could be his moment. Brew and I both think he's the most likely non-quarterback and maybe the most likely Niner to win Super Bowl MVP. So Christian McCaffrey. Number 7, the GMs. Brett Veach and John Lynch. Veach, post-Tyreek trade, trying to paint a masterpiece, going 2 for 2 in Super Bowls. Lynch surviving the Trey Lance debacle and still having not only viable quarterback play, but good quarterback play and maybe the most well-rounded 2 through 53 roster in the league, is the best GM in the world title belt hanging atop Allegiant Stadium. Maybe. Number 6, Travis Kelce. He would supersede the best tight end discussion and start to enter who are the best weapons in NFL history? Who are the best non-quarterback offensive players? You look at Travis Kelce's career compared to a Emmitt Smith, those types of things. And so that's what he does with this, and he's already on the very short list of all-time playoff performers. Number 5, Brock Purdy. It guarantees that he is the long-term starter. It vindicates his biggest supporters, and it might shut up his loudest critics. Number 4, Andy Reid joins Gibbs and Walsh as the only coaches with 3 Super Bowl rings. Belichick, of course, sitting atop with 6. Chuck Noll with 4. He also, catching Bill Belichick becomes possible. He's 44 regular season wins away. Right now, 6 playoff wins and would be just 3, I understand, Super Bowl wins away. And he would be only behind Bill Belichick already he is in Super Bowl appearances. No other coach has more than 5. Number 3, Kyle Shanahan. It vindicates everything about him, his approach, his entire tenure in San Francisco. It gets him, in my opinion, even with McVay, in the young coach power rankings, if you will, of Andy Reid and Belichick. Belichick now obviously out of the league. And to me, it erases a lot of the kind of scar tissue from 2019. Number 2, me. This one's obvious. Sure. We started the year with never a doubt. We never had a doubt, and I get to be the rightest man in sports media once again after a down 2023. Remember, Reuters called me the most accurate sports pundit 2022. Yeah. And number 1, of course, Patrick Mahomes. He ascends like Tiger in 2001 or Gretzky in 1984, where he is now only chasing ghosts and the record books, where he has also entered the discussion. He will clearly have had the greatest start to a career of any football player ever, but starts to enter the discussion of, other than Bill Russell, did he have the greatest start to a career of any professional American athlete ever? So that, Greg Jennings, is our most to gain in Super Bowl 58 list.
Yeah, for me, it's Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy jumps up to number 1. With obviously, with where he is financially, where he was drafted. the last quarterback taken in his draft, and to now be leading this team to their second championship week, but then now his first Super Bowl with this team. Like, he's going up against Patrick Mahomes. When you think about some of the comparisons that has been made of Brock Purdy, Joe Montana became Joe Montana after the catch, wide after the catch, but it was because he ended up completing the task, which was win the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy has an opportunity to do that with the drive he had against Green Bay, obviously the comeback against the Detroit Lions and all the things. So for me, all the scheme that Kyle Shanahan has put together, if it works, it's because of that guy. If it doesn't work, it's probably going to be because of that guy. So he has the most to gain, obviously the payday being number one. And when you get paid in this league as a quarterback, and a lot of us doubted who he is as an elite quarterback, we would not be able to argue the case of all that we've argued this season about why Brock Purdy is not the future of this team and an elite quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, that's why Nick Foles has had such a long starting career. Brew, go ahead.
No, I totally agree with Greg. I think Purdy should be number one. He wins this. I don't know what you're going to say about him. Negative. I would move McCaffrey up, though. I think McCaffrey should be 5. I'd have Purdy number 1. I think McCaffrey should be 5 because there already might be whispers about maybe he's a Hall of Famer. If they win this Super Bowl and he's a driving force in the game, I think now it's like, because look, you're going to wonder about running backs going forward because they aren't putting up the numbers. They don't get the carries that they used to get.
So that's
interesting. In 2 years, he's over 2,000 yards, from scrimmage. 4 seasons, the 4 years he's been healthy, he's rushed for over 1,000 yards. And remember Terrell Davis? Yeah. Only 4 really good years in his career, but 2 of them ended in Super Bowls. So I'm not saying he would be a definite Hall of Famer. I'm just saying now it's like, okay, you start thinking this guy might be a Hall of Famer if he continues to play well.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm glad you said that part at the end. I don't think winning even if he is Super Bowl MVP, he's not all of a sudden already stamped in. But it would be, and I think the point that you make that we might have to start looking at the same way we have had to look at wide receiver numbers and almost put a deflation on them. You know what I mean, for the era? Yeah. I do wonder if running backs, if we might have to look at it less about what their raw numbers are and say,
if you want to put some in,
is there going to be any running back from this decade get in? Like right now, Derrick Henry is the only active running back that I think is a likely Hall of Famer. Maybe C-Mac could join him. So I think that's a good take. Go ahead,
I'm staying on the Kadarius Toney train.
Okay, I am.
Here's the thing. The Chiefs had a bunch of drops. It's one of the reasons why Greg didn't necessarily believe in them. And Bruce said that perhaps the Chiefs were squandering Mahomes' prime. Its 6.3 drop rate is the worst of any team in the last 3 years. But Mahomes, steady. He's like, MVS, I know you dropped a few balls. I'm going to go back to you in the biggest moment of the season, complete a pass. Well, this is the last pass that Mahomes threw to Kadarius Toney. He popped it up against the Patriots, gave the Patriots a little bit of life. Not really, though. Still lost the game. Yeah. But then this shot of Mahomes is like kind of done with him. The announcer's like, Mahomes just doesn't trust him anymore. But Andy Reid says Kadarius Toney has a chance to play. He had the big punt return. If he can do something in the Super Bowl, it not only affirms his status as a valuable wide receiver when he didn't even have 200 total yards, but also Mahomes' ultimate faith in his guys.
I don't know that he should play.
I don't need him on the field.
Then why is he at media
I think
day?
he should play.
Because the Chiefs brought literally every single player on the active roster. Most to lose, the most fun part. All right, most to lose. 5-1, Brock Purdy for obvious reasons. Brady and Belichick.
What do we gotta lose?
What do you mean? Objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear.
That close.
A young AFC quarterbacks. CJ, Trevor, you haven't signed your contract extension yet. It's not too late to ask for a trade to the NFC where you might have a chance. Me, for obvious reasons, and the rest of the media who has doubted the Chiefs all year. Oh, me and Bobby Stroop have those receipts, and we have them saved in the draft.
Oh, if the
Chiefs win. This is all assuming the Chiefs win, because the Chiefs are going to win.
No, but you don't have
no,
to lose.
you would be if
except
they
for
lose. Correct.
Except for me. I had to put myself on there. I have to be fair. Fair is fair. I demand accountability from others. I have to demand it for myself. Everyone else. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.